Donald Trump's insecurity about India's economic prowess swelled through in a tweet. Rahul Gandhi turned a fanboy, cheering on Trump's bitter and whimsical reading of the Indian economy.
Yes, he's right. I mean, everybody knows this, except the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister. Everybody knows that the Indian economy is a dead economy. I'm glad that President Trump has stated a fact.
Both Rahul Gandhi and Donald Trump can't seem to fathom India's growing success and Bharat's unwavering new commitment to play on its terms.
मात्र एक दशक से भी कम समय में भारत फ्रैजाइल 5 अर्थव्यवस्थाओं में से निकलकर दुनिया की सबसे तेजी से बढ़ती प्रमुख अर्थव्यवस्था बन गया है। हम अपने रिफॉर्म्स और अपने किसानों, MSME और उद्यमियों की कड़ी मेहनत के बल पर 11वीं सबसे बड़ी अर्थव्यवस्था से शीर्ष 5 अर्थव्यवस्थाओं में से एक बन गए हैं। यह भी अपेक्षित है कि हम कुछ ही वर्षों में तीसरी सबसे बड़ी अर्थव्यवस्था बन जाएंगे।
Rahul Gandhi's party has been a history sheeter on cheering on make-believe projections of India's economic doom. Facts and hard data prove that India is no dead economy, but instead defining the future. In 2013, global institutions laid the fragile 5. Back then, inflation was in double digits. Foreign investors were fleeing. But that was the India of UPA era mismanagement.
2014 के पहले की फ्रेजाइल 5 वाली स्थिति और लाखों करोड़ के घोटालों के बारे में यहां हर किसी को पता है। हमारी इकोनॉमी की क्या स्थिति थी कि हम कहां खड़े थे और कैसी बीमारियों के शिकार हो गए थे। भारत और भारत की इंडस्ट्री को उस महासंकट से निकालकर हम इस ऊंचाई पर लाए हैं।
Fast forward to today. India is the fastest growing major economy in the world, surpassing China, the UK and even the USA in consistent GDP growth. A dead economy doesn't double its per capita income in just 11 years. But India did, from 90,000 rupees in 2013 to over 2.35 lakh rupees in 2024. Under UPA, India's per capita income was comparable to sub-Saharan Africa. Today, India's per capita GDP is higher than most developing economies, growing faster than our BRICS counterparts. If India's economy was dead, why are investors from over 112 countries pouring money in?
$100 billion FDI. FDI will come with technology, will come with the R&D, will come with innovation, will create jobs. Today the world recognizes that we are the best performing economy. Year after year, we are a listening government. The Modi government's strength comes from the fact that it is always open to suggestions. It's always evolving its public policy.
FDI in the last 11 years stands at a whopping $748 billion, 143% more than the UPA decade.
I'm confident that Tesla will win India and will do so as soon as humanly possible. I'd like to thank the Prime Minister for his support, and hopefully we'll be able to announce something in the not-too-distant future.
70% of all FDI India received in 25 years came in the last 11. Foreign investors don't bet on dead economies, they bet on future-ready nations. The banking sector once bled under bad loans and NPAs, but today, India's public sector banks posted record profits of Rs 1.78 lakh crore in FY25. NPAs have dropped from 14.6% in 2018 to just 2.5% in 2025.
Performance of the public sector banks has significantly improved, and I repeat, the gross NPAs of public sector bank have declined. gross NPA ratio of public sector bank now stands at 2.85% in December 2024 from the peak gross NPA ratio of 14.58% in March 2018. March 2018 is when you saw all those loans prior to 2014 coming to be recognized as NPAs and action being started from then. That was the peak, and that peak was 14.58%. But today, the gross NPAs are, when I say today, December 2024, 2.85%. Pursuant action is showing itself.
Thanks to the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, rupees 26 lakh crore has been unlocked, with major recoveries going back to PSBs. India, once the world's biggest arms importer, a country where defense deals became synonymous with scams, is now an exporter to 100+ countries.
फायदा सबसे बड़ा जो फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट के आज के 21वीं सदी के परिप्रेक्ष्य में अगर देखें तो प्रेडिक्टेबिलिटी, कंटिन्यूटी और स्टेबिलिटी पॉलिसी की वो सुरक्षित हो जाती है कि अब बार-बार बदलाव नहीं होगा, ये रेट अब फिक्स हो गया है.
Defense production in India has risen from 46,000 crore in 2014 to 1.27 lakh crore in 2024. Exports surged from 686 crore to 23,622 crore. Visa and MasterCard ruled the world until India's UPI arrived. India's pharmaceutical exports doubled from 15 billion to 30.5 billion in a decade. MSME exports too have doubled, creating 34 crore jobs since 2014. Semiconductors, India was once just a dreamer, but by 2025, India rolls out its first fully indigenous chip. 6 megafabs approved, 7 crore chips a day in plant capacity.
माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का सेमीकंडक्टर के लिए जो विजन है, वो विजन एक नई इंडस्ट्री बनाने का है. जैसा कई इंडस्ट्री लीडर्स ने कहा, 50-60 वर्षों से ये तपस्या, 50-60 वर्षों से ये आकांक्षा देश की थी कि भारत में सेमीकंडक्टर इंडस्ट्री आए, और बहुत कम समय में आज एक अच्छी अपने पास उपलब्धि है. 5 इंडस्ट्रीज, 5 यूनिट्स अप्रूव हो गए, और उसमें से 2 में कंस्ट्रक्शन का काम अच्छा तेजी से चल रहा है, बाकी 3 का कंस्ट्रक्शन जल्दी चालू होगा. सबने, इंडस्ट्री ने यूनिवर्सिटीज के साथ, एकेडेमिया के साथ पार्टनरशिप्स अपनी बना ली है, और जो सबसे महत्वपूर्ण बात है कि पूरा का पूरा इकोसिस्टम भारत में आ रहा है.
In AI, India leads with 92% adoption of Gen AI and the highest AI skill penetration globally. India is no longer a follower. Now rewind to the early 90s. India mortgaged its gold. IMF dictated our union budget. Under Congress rule, India's lost economic sovereignty was the headline many believed. The new India of today sets deals on its own terms.
मैंने आपको कई बार बताया कि भारत अपने शर्तों पर चर्चा करता है. अलग अलग देशों के साथ चर्चा चल रही है. यूरोपियन यूनियन हो, न्यूजीलैंड हो, ओमान हो, यूएसए हो, चिली हो, पेरू हो, कई देशों के साथ एग्रीमेंट की बात चल रही है. फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट तभी संभव होता है जब दो तरफा फायदा हो. इट शुड बी अ विन विन एग्रीमेंट. और जब भारत के इंटरेस्ट को सुरक्षित रखते हुए, नेशनल इंटरेस्ट विल ऑलवेज बी सुप्रीम, वो ध्यान में रखते हुए अच्छा अगर डील बनती है तो भारत तो विकसित देशों के साथ डील करने के लिए कभी भी तैयार है.
The new India of today won't be bullied by the West.
Are we taking the crude from Russia, refining it here, making it Indian refined oil and sending it back? Because the EU foreign policy chief, Josep Borrell, had said that if diesel or gasoline is entering Europe coming from India and being produced with Russian oil, then it is a circumvention of sanctions and member states have to take measures. This was said by him sometime.
There are no sanctions on Russian oil. No, a lot of people have made a lot of statements. Let me assure you, there are no sanctions on Russian oil. When the European Union and the other countries in the West decided to take an ideological position on Russian oil, I want to remind you, at that point of time, all Russian energy coming through a pipeline to Hungary was exempt. And Hungary is a European Union country. And all energy going by a pipeline to China was exempt. And all energy being exported from Sakhalin in East Asia to Japan was exempt. Point one. The only stipulation was that they wanted to place Russian oil under a price cap. And we were quite happy. I mean, if we can buy crude oil cheaper, we'd be very happy to do that.
The new India of today doesn't look westward for approval or dictations.
He's a much tougher negotiator than me, and he's a much better negotiator than me. There's not even a contest. Okay?
The Indian economy is not dead. It's defining the future. And that may have Donald Trump and the 11-year in opposition Rahul Gandhi in a permanent meltdown.